Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tarani. Thanks for watching us today. We're at the Cloud Expo 2011 in Santa Clara. On our program is Dave Zabrowski. He is the founder and the CEO of Cloud Cruiser. And Dave, welcome back.
Great, good to be back, Rich.
So bring us up to speed on what's happening.
Sure, so last saw you June, the Cloud Expo in New York. Money matters. That's what's happening now. People are migrating to the cloud. The lead adopters are moving to public, private clouds. And they're starting to get past the early on-ramping challenges, security, provisioning, capacity planning. And as those workloads are moving into the cloud and becoming more prominent in their enterprise, money matters again. They're starting to see their charges accelerate on the public side. We're starting to see on the private side more and more emphasis put on cost. Chargeback is becoming in vogue again. In the enterprise, as you're developing a private cloud, we're seeing an increased emphasis in RFQ activity, requiring sophisticated chargeback and cost management capabilities. And that's the big trend that we've seen. And we expect it to accelerate because we're only at the tipping point right now. The cloud, 1% of the workloads, 2% of the workloads have moved to the cloud. So we expect money to matter more moving forward even.
And how are you helping in that situation?
So that's what we founded our company to do. We have a cost management software package that is for cloud service providers, for cloud management platforms, as well as for end users. And essentially we bring four things to it. We bring the visibility of your costs, regardless of where they reside in your enterprise. It could be public, multiple publics, private, hybrid, internal. We also bring accountability through chargeback. We have a very sophisticated hierarchical chargeback capability. So if you're in an enterprise, you can get vertical accountability through your organization by tracking at the granular level the usage of your organization. Or if you're a CSP, you have the same capabilities except it's a downstream chargeback. You can charge your customers and your customers' customers. And then the third area is in empowerment. We have a very sophisticated portal with a BI tool that companies can go in and customers and departments can go in and do their own analysis. They're not dependent upon some eye in the sky to tell them what their charges were. They can go in and actually look at their charges, figuring out how to optimize those charges. And then the last thing we bring is our fourth module is cost control. And this is the idea that we're not driving through the rearview mirror anymore. We want to get in front of costs and we want to contain those costs. We want to set budgets. We want to have predictability in those spends. Just like in corporate enterprise today, same thing applies to the spending that's going on to the public cloud. And it's a variable operating expense coming from the public cloud. Internally, it's a capital expense, but you still have to have those controls. And we provide those controls and we give them alerts. We give them the ability to forecast their consumption and see what their charges are. And that's what we're addressing with Cloud Cruiser today.
Now, who within the organization is the right contact to purchase from you? Which title? Is it a CXO? Is it a technical person?
Yeah, and it needs to be both. Typically, it's the CTO, enterprise architect person, depending on the size of the company, and a CIO or CFO type of person, more on the financial IT side of the industry. But basically, the demarcation line is once a company has decided to move to the cloud, that's when we get involved. And the companies that think in advance about cost as they're migrating to the cloud, that's really the company that once they get to the cloud is going to be able to take advantage of the benefits of the cost offered by the cloud. Companies that focus more tactically and just start moving workloads to the cloud, or they have shadow IT, those are the companies that cost management is an afterthought, and those are the companies that are struggling with runaway cost and rogue spending.
So let's talk about that for a second. What's the biggest challenge then you're seeing with runaway costs and rogue spending? What are the companies that have that problem not doing? I mean, okay, obviously they could be working with you, but what should they think about? So I'm watching this video right now and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna deploy, I'm going to the cloud. What are the top things that they should do before they deploy?
Yeah, well, the first order of business is when you put out an RFQ for, let's say, a private cloud, you have to include cost capabilities, chargeback, cost containment, cost control. Those have to be included in your RFQ because there are a lot of management providers out there that are providing those private clouds that frankly don't have the type of capabilities that you're going to want. So you want to think about that in advance. And that's a very important thing that, especially in the RFQ process, you want to do that. Now, the management providers, they can work with Cloud Cruiser as a partner, or we can work with the end user direct to deliver those to them.
Great. So what's next?
For us, well, we've just announced some partnerships with some customers. We have several service providers that we've announced public relationships with. So we're building up those infrastructures, and basically we provide that cost management for them. And it's very interesting. There's an application that's emerging where it's this horizontal hierarchical chargeback that I mentioned. Downstream customers, because a lot of times when you're talking about cloud, you're selling to third parties, you're selling to downstream customers. And we provide a very sophisticated capability for some of these service providers that we have. We also are working with management partners, the management platforms, I should say, companies that are going into private clouds and wrapping around our cost capabilities inside their management. So now we can provide an entire, real, true management capabilities, which is all of the on-ramping and the management, the provisioning, capacity. And now with Cloud Cruiser, they can provide all of the cost management, including chargeback and other the things that I mentioned.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks for being here.
All right, well, good, Rich. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, see you next time.